The Galactic Council chamber fell silent as Ambassador Jasmine Chen walked to the podium, her boots clicking against the crystalline floor. Around her, representatives from 47 species watched with barely concealed contempt. Humans had been part of the council for only 3 cycles, and already they were demanding an emergency session. Councillor Vexthor, a towering Krillian with obsidian scales, leaned forward. Ambassador Chen, you have called this assembly with claims of, what did your transmission say? Gross misrepresentation of human military capabilities? His voice dripped with condescension. We have reviewed your species' submissions. 1 solar system, no antimatter weapons, kinetic projectile technology. Quite frankly, you barely qualified for membership. Jasmine's expression remained neutral. Counselor, with respect, Earth submitted exactly what was requested. Our defensive military capabilities. A ripple of confused murmurs spread through the chamber. There's a difference? Asked Counselor Shivera, her translucent form pulsing with curiosity. A significant one, Jasmine replied. When Earth joined the Council, we were told the galaxy had been at peace for 10,000 years. We saw no reason to alarm our new neighbors with our full portfolio, Vexthor's tail lashed. Preposterous. We demand proof of these alleged capabilities. Jasmine nodded to the chamber entrance. I brought our Fleet Admiral Harry Morrison to explain. Admiral? A lean, gray-haired man in a simple blue uniform entered. Unlike Jasmine's diplomatic attire, his jacket bore only 2 insignia, Earth's flag and a single silver star. He moved with the economy of motion that predators recognized in other predators. Several council members shifted uncomfortably. Esteemed council, Harry began, his voice calm. Earth's history is complicated. We achieved spaceflight while actively engaged in global warfare. We reached our moon while building weapons that could sterilize our own planet. We learned to split atoms before we learned to live in peace. Barbarians, someone muttered. Harry continued as if he hadn't heard. When we received the Council's invitation, we faced a choice. We'd just ended our last major conflict. We were exhausted, ashamed of what we'd done to ourselves. The Council's charter spoke of peace, cooperation, scientific advancement. We wanted to be part of that, but we also knew what we were. He activated a holo display. Earth rotated slowly, serene and blue. So we showed you this version of humanity. Our exploration fleet, our merchant marine, our system defense force, all true, all accurate. The display shifted. Around Earth, red dots began appearing, hundreds, then thousands, then millions. What we didn't mention were the weapons platforms. 40 million autonomous defense satellites, each capable of tracking and eliminating threats moving at 0.9 C. We didn't mention that every civilian spacecraft has a military-grade void drive and can be remotely conscripted in emergencies. Vexthor stood. Impossible. We've scanned your system thoroughly. You scanned for active military installations, Harry interrupted. Our platforms remain dormant until activated. They're made from the same material as space debris. They drift. They wait. The display zoomed outward, showing the solar system. More red dots appeared in the asteroid belt. We didn't mention our fabrication facilities. 3,000 automated factories built into asteroids, capable of producing 1 Dreadnought-class vessel every 72 hours. Currently, they produce mining equipment and habitats, but the assembly lines can be reconfigured in 4 hours. Jasmine watched the Council's reaction. Disbelief was giving way to alarm. We didn't mention, Harry continued, his voice never rising, that our kinetic weapons are deliberately primitive. Railguns are reliable, easy to manufacture, and terrifyingly effective. We can accelerate a tungsten rod to relativistic speeds. At that velocity, a telephone pole becomes a planet killer. We have 17,000 such weapons in orbit. We've never fired one in anger. Councillor Shivera's color had shifted to deep purple. Why are you telling us this? Because of the Draviks, Jasmine said quietly. The chamber erupted. The Dravik sovereignty had been making aggressive moves toward Council space for months. Their fleet was legendary, 7,000 warships, each crewed by warriors bred for combat. Vexthor's voice cut through the chaos. The Dravik's problem is being handled diplomatically. The Draviks don't want diplomacy, Harry said. Their scout forces violated Council borders 3 times in the past week. They're testing your defenses. They think you're weak because you've been at peace so long. And what do you propose? Vexthor demanded. That we unleash your primitive weapons? Prove them right that we're savages? Jasmine stepped forward. No. We propose that we remind them why peace is preferable to the alternative. Admiral Morrison, show them the rest. Harry's expression didn't change, but something flickered in his eyes. Sadness, perhaps, or memory. Humanity hasn't fought an interstellar war, he said. But we've fought each other for millennia. We've refined warfare into a science. We understand strategy, logistics, psychological operations, asymmetric combat, guerrilla tactics, and total war. We've written thousands of books on the subject. We've built simulations. We've gamed out every scenario. The display shifted again, showing a tactical analysis of Dravik's fleet movements. They're good, Harry admitted. Disciplined, well-equipped, but they fight with honor. They announce their attacks. They believe in fair combat. He looked around the chamber. Humans stopped believing in fair combat around the time we invented ambushes. We mine supply routes. We target infrastructure. We use disinformation. We make war so terrible that peace becomes the only rational choice. You're describing terrorism, Vexthor said coldly. We're describing survival, Jasmine countered. Earth didn't join the Council to conquer anyone. We joined because we were tired of conquest. But we remember how to fight. And if the Draviks threaten this peace, we will remind the galaxy why humanity earned its reputation. Silence filled the chamber. Finally, Councillor Shivera spoke. What do you want from us? Authorization, Jasmine said. To move our fleet to Council borders. To activate our defense network. And permission to open diplomatic channels with the Draviks, not as primitive humans from one small system, but as what we actually are. And what is that? Vexthor asked. Harry smiled, and it wasn't a pleasant expression. Survivors. Earth has been playing nice, Counselor. We want to keep it that way. But if the Draviks need a demonstration of why the Council has maintained peace for 10,000 years, humanity is prepared to provide one. After all, we're very good at demonstrations. The Council voted unanimously to accept Earth's proposal. 3 days later, the Dravik sovereignty received intelligence reports on Earth's actual military capacity. They immediately requested a formal peace summit. The Dravik's ambassador, upon meeting Jasmine and Harry, asked only one question. Why didn't you tell us from the beginning? Harry's response became famous across the galaxy. Because we were hoping we'd never have to.